Hey, good day, folks. Good day, fine Americans, fellow patriots. Um, Good to have you on for another edition of Lumberjack Logic Live. I'm just putting something out of the way. I was actually going to use this too, so it always records the pictures better when I use my phone as opposed to my computer. My computer's old. It's old. The camera isn't so hot. It doesn't do so well. Good to see you folks jumping on. As this stream builds, do me a quick favor. You know the drill. Smash the like. Chime in with where you're from. Good to see you on, Kenny B. Barbara B. Yeah, I responded to you there. Locals. That's where everybody went after the great purge. Good morning, Sage News. I did get your message yesterday. I'll reach out to you. I've been real busy. Actually, my friend was up and he shot a deer on the property the other day, so we had to go out and track that. And then I've got vehicle issues. Oh my gosh, somebody from Jerusalem is on. Good to see you. Thanks so much, Mick. And we've got greetings from Texas. There's some good stuff going on in Texas right now. Actually, Texas will be in my report this morning as we get into this. We've got Northeast Iowa in the house. I've been to Northeast Iowa. It's like the French Riviera. We got Wisconsin. We've got Florida. We've got more Texas. I got so many listeners out of Texas. Thank you all down there in Texas. Shakopee. I don't know, Steve, if you've ever seen Triple Espresso. If you guys have not seen Triple Espresso, it's an amazing show. It's like a play comedy, but Shakopee is Shakopee. Yeah. We got Susan from Massachusetts. We got Brainbridge, Georgia on. We got Alabama, Florida, West Virginia, Illinois. This is awesome. Northeast Illinois, getting specific. We got Ohio. Quick story. I used to work for a company. We sold sales training seminars and soft skills seminars, negotiating and that type of thing. And we had a network out in Ohio, and I used to travel out to Ohio, Cleveland area, and do a lot of work out there. So just a little interesting background on me in case you're curious. My past life, I have trouble staying interested in things for too long. It's a real problem. Okay, I've got a great story today. Before I get into that, I did pin, just so you know, Freedom Hill Coffee is pinned in the comments. Running on us on both channels, and so both on the Lumberjack Logic and the other channel. It's really wonderful coffee, and if you use promo code Lumberjack, you can save 10%, and then it also helps the show. So please use the promo code. And this is the new coffee mugs available at lumberjacklogicshow.com. And oh my gosh, I hardly have any coffee left. I started a show without any coffee. It's terrible. Last sip. There it is. It's all gone now. It's unbelievable. Oh, thanks, Don. You guys are outstanding. Thank you so much. So yeah, this is, and you can also register your email over there so we can always stay in touch in this crazy world that we live in. Can't believe we're here. Folks, I know I've been a little bit down. I got a little heated the other night. I understand, but I love bringing you good news, and I've got a good news report today. But it does get a little tough. The slog does get, you just want to see more things happen a little bit quicker. As you come in, smash that like again, and also subscribe and share if you haven't. I want to welcome all the new subscribers. We've had over 200 subscribers in the last few days join. So I thank you so much. If you're new, chime in and just put the word new down there. Somebody asked where Bahizzi had gone. He's over on Locals. Everybody's over on Locals. I've said that before. I'm lumberjacklogic.locals.com. I dropped a major story over there. We haven't seen Gavin Newsom in 13 days, 14 days now. That's all I can say, man. There's interesting things going on in Newsom's world. And then My Pillow. All right, there you go. I'll leave that up for just a little bit. Let's see comments. We got any news on there? Update on January 6th. I'll give you that real quick. That group on Telegram has grown to well over 600 people now. I don't even know what it's at this morning. I haven't been on it. Yesterday it was 600 and some. That group is growing very fast. So that is a big deal. Okay. And these people are warrior people. Okay. I don't have that. Well, here, since somebody's asking about it, I want to get into the news, but I'm going to get you this real quick. I will link this. So for those who don't know, we are working hard to help the people that are in the terrible conditions there, a true human rights violation at the DC jail. Now, again, I've said this before. I'm not trying to pass judgment on crimes, who did what, anything like that. We're at 654 members. There's the link, okay? So Mega Notice Movement, all right? And I encourage you, please go over to that group, sign up, and pinned at the top of that, there are 3 pinned messages that deal with the, remonstrance affidavit, the instructions, and then also the addresses of all the people to send that to. We need your help, people. Look, we all get to, hi, Amanda, we all get to have our sleep on, like I said, our nice My Pillows, our Giza sheets, whatever. And, but they don't. And it's horrific conditions, and they need your help. And this is something that you can do. It's tangible and can bring about results. So I do ask you to just join that group and help those people get those notices downloaded, send those in. You have to print them out on 8.5 by 14 paper. All right. Thank you so much for that. We are making things happen there. It does take a little bit of while. We have to get all those notices going out. We have to get enough people signing up on the group. Then those people need to send the notices out, and then the action needs to be taken. So we really, really need your help. They need your help, actually. It's not so much that we need your help. They need your help. And so please make sure you're doing that. Another really quick thing, speaking of My Pillow, I just got some news. My friend who's on the police force down there, he has 2 My Pillows. He's on the police force in Minneapolis. Both of them were given to him free. One when he was deployed over in Egypt. He's with the National Guard. He had to go over there, and Mike actually sends a lot of this stuff to our military veterans, so and people who are on active duty, so they can have more comfortable night's sleep, which I think is very kind of him. And then when he was on riot duty during the terrible situation in Minneapolis after George Floyd, when the whole city was burning, they had those shipped to them there because the guys had to all they were taking their breaks and stuff down at the Minneapolis Convention Center, and that's where they got their food and could get a quick rest if they needed to. And so he sent pillows there for them. So I just give you that little word. So again, he's great to support, and by doing that using promo code Lumberjack, saving up to 66%, you get a deal. You support the show and you support Mike. So I want to thank you so much for all of you who have done that. So the other thing is Lindsay's Common Law Crash Course. It's not emails that we're sending. We are sending certified mail, and then you can use their fax machines. Okay, that's another way you can get around that. All right. I want to get into my news story of today. I thought this is, I always go through, and it's funny as I do this, I want to pick what is the best news story? Where is it? And I really wanted a story of winning today, and that's what we're going to talk about. And this is some major winning. All right. And then I will make one last appeal. Please do smash that like button, folks. Please, really increases the distribution. And if you have not subscribed already, please do that as well. And feel free to share the content always, okay? But smash that like. All right, now, here we go. I got to move this over just a touch, and then I'm going to get into the news. This out of the Washington Examiner, which I love. Worried parents take over school board seats across the country. Now, we know about the school board seats, but this gets into it a little bit more. Gives us some direct interviews and direct contact, and I'm going to show you, okay, a couple things in this report. One, this is a model for winning, and that model really involves knowing local issues and getting involved at these heartbeat issues. Okay, parents are very concerned. Okay, the schools have let them down, and so if we are able to tap into that, and this is like regular citizens. This isn't something where you need to have a massive political skill and media, whatever, and you're going to see this. You can go after these local races, and that's going to then allow you to present more in front of people and all that. I know it's a big step for many of you. It can be fearful, but that's what we need. Is we need people involved in the movement, if you will, to reclaim our nation, bring us back to our founding ideals. So This is such an important article. Okay, please stick with me through this because you're going to see here. I'll get into a little bit of analysis as we're going through it too. Texas resident Scott Henry had never run for any sort of political office and had no political aspirations of any kind. And I'm sure many of you are in that same boat. But last week, he was one of dozens of parents across the country who won school board races by campaigning on providing a voice to parents concerned about CRT, mandates, and the lack of transparency from school board members. Now, they have proven themselves to be completely non-transparent, okay? They want to shut down the meetings. They want to bring in law enforcement. They don't want parents speaking. And not only that, the teachers are actually asking parents to sign NDAs if they want to look at curriculum and so on. So this is how much, this is like, remember Obama, I go back to this, but we're going to be the most transparent administration. And then they weren't transparent at all. Okay, that's what we're dealing with here, okay? So the lack of transparency is deeply upsetting to parents because it is their children. It is not the government's children. It is the job and duty. It is the sovereign duty bestowed upon the parents by God himself to raise those children, whether that's natural born or adopted, because never forget that God is a God of adoption. Never forget the doctrine of adoption. God adopts us as sons and daughters, okay? We are orphans, okay? But we can be adopted into the family. So if you have adopted children, praise God for you. Thank you so much for doing that. You have legal, custodial, and actually a preordained plan to raise these children. So I thank you for that. All right. A successful businessman and parent who regularly volunteers at his local Baptist church, Henry says he only decided to run for the school board of Cypress Fairbanks Independent School District based in the suburb of Houston when he realized that the gentlemen and ladies on the board were ignoring parental concerns. In an interview with the Washington Examiner, Henry cited the lack of transparency and accountability in our board as the catalyst for his decision to run. So again, the further they tilt this way, the more that you and I and others like us are going to be motivated to do things that are outside of our comfort zone, okay? A board should be open to the public and responsive to the public's need and wants, he said. We're here for the parents first and foremost. See, isn't that great? A public servant who actually understands what their job is, that they are a public servant, they're for the parents first and foremost, okay? Henry ran against incumbent Don Ryan and handily defeated him Tuesday with over 17,000 votes, more than twice Ryan's totals, according to election website Ballotpedia. But it gets better, folks. Watch this report get even better. Ryan had signed a September 2022 resolution declaring that systemic racism existed in the school. Now, this is the guy who held the seat in the district, and what the district needed was to conduct an equity audit that would lead us to develop an equity policy or policies so we can better strive to close the gaps of opportunity and achievement among ethnic groups, races, genders, and those of low socioeconomic status and learning differences. Now, what you need to understand about that code language right there, okay, is that they are basically calling these people dumb and that they need special advancement. That is how they want to keep them in their camp, okay? But what they're doing is they're insulting them while trying, and people, of different races see this. They're seeing this for what it is now. Notice that the black vote is increasing through each cycle to go more and tilt more Republican because they're tired of being pandering to. These disingenuous liberals are trying to say, oh, yes, you need special treatment because you're not as smart. We haven't given you these opportunities, so now we're going to lower your test scores. That's not giving them more opportunity. It's like one of my favorite lines in Remember the Titans is when Denzel Washington says, I may be a mean bastard, but I'm the same mean bastard to every one of them, regardless of color. He said, actually, it's these young black men need more I can't remember the exact words, but yeah, you've probably seen the movie and can remember it better. But the bottom line is people need to be treated equally, not specially based upon their melanin, all right? Our message resonated because parents, this is going back to Henry, who ran against and won. Our message resonated because parents wanted change. They wanted better changes in our policies in Sci-Fair, and they wanted to ban CRT, Henry said, mentioning transparency from the school board as a policy that has essentially resonated with parent voters. Okay, CRT is an academic theory, right? You guys all know that. I'm not going to go into what it is. Henry's campaign, which was backed by the Harris County Republic. This is it. Get this. Please catch this. Henry's campaign, which was backed by the Harris County Republican Party. Are you listening? Catch this. Knocked on over 24,000 doors. This is a school board race, people. Henry's campaign, which was backed by the Harris County Republican Party. This is why you need to get involved with your Republican Party on the county level. County level, okay? I'm not giving to the NRCC. I'm not giving to the Senate campaign finance arm. I'm not giving to any of these organizations. We need to give locally, okay? All right. Back to this. They knocked on over 24,000 doors. They were organized. You need an organizing body, and so they had the county. Okay, a number that he said, get this, was greater than the get out the vote effort in the area during the 2020 presidential campaign. Did you catch that? I am talking a national presidential election, and the involvement was greater here. Why? These are the local issues that most affect people, and I really want you to catch this. Okay, if we're going to win, we have to bring this down to the local issues that are affecting parents, that are affecting people locally, because that's what they're going to most care about. That's where you're gonna show them, and they will be able to feel a difference being made. When we talk about some of the national issues, we lose some people, right? And they just want to go back to four-wheeling on weekends or drinking beer and happy hour and that kind of nonsense, okay? Just living for pleasure because nothing else matters. But that's not that's not what this is. See, you're able to bring it right to them. You're able to develop that sense of community, and they don't feel it's beyond their scope. This is also then how we are going to affect federal elections, because we're going to have more like-minded people involved on this level, which is going to affect the national as well. Okay. All right. Our message was simple and resonated with the majority of CFISD voters. Henry said in a victory statement he provided to the Washington Examiner, they wanted a much boundaries. Amen on that one. A renewed focus on academics and transparency in our policy. Can you imagine that? They wanted kids to learn reading, writing, and arithmetic instead of CRT. I mean, come on. This is so obvious. Across the state, in the Dallas suburb of Southlake, Andrew Yeager, a businessman and adjunct professor who grew up in Ann Arbor, Michigan, emerged victorious in a special election to fill a vacant seat on the Carroll Independent School District School Board meeting, cementing a 4-3 conservative majority on the board for the first time that he could remember. Isn't that amazing? A 4-3, because for the first time he could remember. This is huge. Yeager, like Henry, had no political ambitions, but an overreach by liberals on the school board. Among other things, police intended and unintended microaggressions, and the suggestion of a fellow community member prompted him to run. So you guys can make a difference by doing the suggesting to people, you know, this is something you can do. You can share this stream with them and show them that this is something they can do. I started speaking out against these radical ideas, Yeager said, trying to just have common sense solutions. And then someone asked me, you know, you're very even-tempered. You're trying to bring the temperature down. You're about common sense solutions. Would you consider running? And that's kind of how it happened. The father of 3 daughters, 2 of whom graduated a local public high school and a third a current high school student, Yeager said that his election is a chance to serve my community and give back because we felt the school prepared those 2 daughters for their careers. Yeager said he realized that his electoral victory was part of a nationwide trend, which he said is a good indication that if you're going to be a candidate for the school board, you have to be in touch with parents' concerns. The race saw record voter turnout for a special election. This is what you need to get. We need to rack up major victories. And I've said this before, we need to rack up large margins because of certain issues, okay? If there's going to be malfeasance, we have to get outside of that, and then we have to utilize that time. And this is why it's so important for you to be involved locally in your precinct caucus level so that you can go as a delegate to state convention and make sure we're getting the right candidates, not these weak-kneed rhinos. I don't know if you heard about what's going on in New Hampshire right now, but they were trying to get Chris Sununu to run for Senate. Chris Sununu has been no friend to conservatives. In fact, if you haven't seen the interview from New Hampshire, Chris Sununu was trying to get the conservatives arrested at his meeting and basically try to rile up and start an insurrection with his 150 state police officers there, tapping people and dragging them out who were doing nothing in the meeting. That is unreal. There's a channel on YouTube called Absolute Defiance. He has those videos of that posted. I have the interview with the people who were there posted on mine on the live. Okay. Record turnout for special election. Yeager said the local ABC affiliate WFAA reported voter turnout was a mere 10% below the 2018 governor's race in the state. Yeager won with over 65% of the vote. Is the answer to have radical ideas or common sense ideas, Yeager asked. And that's where I think the community came out and voted very strongly to say, let's have common sense ideas. While Yeager and Henry won races in the Lone Star State to the north, in Lansing, Kansas, Amy Cave won her race for school board on a similar parent-focused platform. Now, think about this. This is in Kansas. Did you realize that there is a Democratic governor in Kansas? We need a real conservative in Kansas. That's an easy win. She says she was motivated to run. And people, we have 27 governorships in Republican hands right now. Now, granted, some of them are rhinos. I totally understand that. I get all that. Okay, I'm not. But if we can get that to the point, and we could in this next election cycle, get to 35 governorships. Do you realize that? We could actually get to 35 governorships, and this should be an easy pickup. If you're in Kansas, get involved. Okay, she says she was motivated to run after seeing the school board display a little care for parental concerns over the mandates and restrictions and the CRT. I noticed the schools were not reacting and listening to what the parents wanted, she told the Washington Examiner. Okay. And nearly defying a survey of district parents, they went forward by just one vote. They wanted, the people wanted in-person learning. Defying a survey district of parents that showed 80% wanted to return to the classroom for in-person instruction. So they could only get that by one vote when 80% of the parents, they are not responsive to the parents, they are not listening. If you're just joining the stream, please do smash that like button and chat in with where you are from. Cave said she has 3 children, and while only one is still of school age, she's noticed a substantial difference in what the older 2 learned in school versus the youngest, because the schools are continuing to tilt towards the left. Folks, let's be honest about this. We gave up the school boards. Conservatives didn't run. We gave those up. Okay? Now we need to get involved. And it's going to take a little bit of time. So I know we're impatient because we think, and we're thinking in terms of righteousness, and we're thinking, my gosh, how can this stuff be going on? Doesn't matter. Okay, we gave it up. If you want to see winning, you've got to get involved. All right, look at all this winning. Okay, chief among the difference between the incorporation of has been the incorporation of CRT. Cowboy said the difference was noticed in no small part because the closures allowed parents to see what their children were learning. This is in Minneapolis, or I think it was in Minneapolis or St. Paul, but the school districts here in Minneapolis, they were telling parents that they couldn't see what their kids were learning on the computer because they were getting too much pushback. Even in Liberalville, Minneapolis, okay? They didn't want the parents seeing what the kids were learning. Talk about a lack of transparency. But they were seeing what they were learning, and that's what's creating some of this pushback. Do you know that in Minneapolis, 2 of the most radical city council members got voted out? I kid you not. It's amazing. I'm going to do a special on that because I've got a map that will show you the breakdown, and it is not what you think it is. You've got to watch that show. Please do not miss that one. I'll make it a short video. I've seen over the years that things from the East and West Coast come to the Midwest later, Cave said, citing CRT as the latest coastal idea to find its way inland. Please do, when you subscribe, smash that notification bell so you can get the notification on it. You're going to find that analysis to be completely fascinating. Our governor has not banned CRT in Kansas, she said, referring to the state's Democratic governor, Laura Kelly. So the last line of defense is the school board. I really think you need parents on the school board, she went on. Just having educators doesn't speak for everyone, especially the tax-paying parents. No, in fact, parents should be the only ones on the school board, I think. 3 board seats were up for election last week in Lansing, with Cave finishing 3rd out of 6 candidates to secure her victory. She was one of dozens of candidates endorsed by the 1776 Project, an anti-CRT political action committee founded by Ryan Gudersky, who said Cave and the others the PAC endorsed were just average parents concerned about the direction of public education. He said he founded the PAC to fund school board candidates during the throes of the lockdowns in 2020, and he noticed that with online schooling, parents were having their eyes open to the realities of public school curriculum. I couldn't start a school, Gudersky said. I didn't have the academic background for that, but I can do school board elections. Okay, the vast majority of candidates. So I encourage you to go to 1776 Project. If you're going to run, make sure you get their endorsement and get involved on that level. Okay, it's huge. Okay, oh wow, look at all these new people. I'm not going to repeat, Gloria. You'll have to go back and watch this again because I'm going to shut the stream down here shortly. I just wanted to get this out and just encourage you people to run for local offices. I want to thank you so much for being part of the stream. Remember mypillow.com, promo code Lumberjack, save up to 66%. I pinned the Freedom Hill copy on the live chat. Support him. He's a great guy. He's giving to good causes. And by using that promo code, you support the show, you save money. It's a total win-win. And then get some of the best merch available, conservative merch, at lumberjacklogicshow.com. Okay, but this is how we win, people. We take back on local election levels, and that's what's going to also help us win on the national level. That's what the Democrats did so well, and so many people don't understand that. But they were getting involved in school boards. They were getting involved in the city councils, the mayoral races, the small towns, and getting candidates who could run. One of the problems out in New Hampshire right now is the Republican Party wants Sununu to run so badly because he's their hope. Sununu doesn't listen to his constituents. He's not a good candidate at all. As many of us know, we want a real conservative on there. So it is important that we get the right people running, and it's important that they get this initial experience. So I want to thank you so much for listening to the show today. I love you all. Peace out.